I have a very special guest with us here today, Marlin Jackson, and of course you all know him as a former Colts player, but today he's here to talk about something completely different, about passion. He's very passionate about his foundation called Fight for Life. Marlin, this is amazing. We were just talking about this is a part of your purpose. Tell us a little bit about it.
No, this is part of my purpose. What I experienced as a youth growing up with my adverse childhood experiences, I kind of let God lead me into my purpose of really helping underserved youth develop the social and emotional qualities that are needed for success. Some people may not know what social emotional learning is, but it's the process in which you learn to obtain and then apply the skills necessary to manage emotions, set and achieve goals, build self-awareness, build social awareness, and ultimately it's all about positive decision making. We do this by primarily partnering with school systems to implement school-wide social emotional learning curriculum paired with an engaging behavioral health management system.
This is amazing, and a lot of people don't realize this is also called ACEs, Adverse Childhood Experiences, and a lot of people don't realize that this is what really shapes lives. Tell me a little bit about how this works in schools, and did the pandemic make it even tougher for you guys to do your work?
Well, we're actually built really well for the pandemic because we administer our programming through technology primarily. We have admins, teachers, students, and parents all on one platform. And the engagement of the students, we collect the data around that, the positives, the negatives, the concerns, the positive characteristics, and then we relay that information to the proper stakeholders. So admins receive notifications on students' behavior, parents receive updates, students can check their activity report, students can take self-assessment. So you think about not being in the building, in the classroom, teacher not being able to read the expressions on my face or my body language, our students can sit down and take a self-assessment on a weekly basis, and their answers roll up to the teachers. And it's all about the circumstances that are going on at home. How are you feeling? What is your level of stress? What characteristics are within your household? So we're not being defensive, right, when it comes to serving our students. We're being proactive and offensive with in our nature.
You know, I talk to all my parent friends, right? Like, I'm not a parent yet, but my girl Anessa is a great parent. We have so many great parents in this building. There is no parenting handbook, but this is a really big tool for parents out there too, wouldn't you say?
Well, it's a monitoring system. Like, if you think about like a monitor in a hospital, and it's a sensor reading the pulse. Like, we're literally reading the pulse of the culture and climate within the school building, and then we can relay that information through automated notifications to the right people, so we're all on the same page, understanding what's going on. And it's really a closed loop system, like meeting each child where they are, with the social emotional learning lessons, with the SEL video resources, with the self-assessment. So students that are doing well, that are on the right track, they're getting the lessons. But students that we identify concerns with, we can now, with our system, allow administrators to make referrals to service providers as well. So we're trying to close that loop and streamline the relationship between schools, social service, and healthcare providers.
Gosh, I literally could talk to you about this all day. And let me ask you this real quick. This is not just an urban issue. Like, we see this in rural, we see this in urban areas. Talk to me about that and how people can help you guys do this work.
You might, at ACEs, you may see some, in the suburban neglect, you may see some household dysfunction, divorce, and then maybe there's some traumatic events or incidents that occur, But the thing is being able to cope. Like, these things are all inevitable in life. I've experienced these things, having a mother that was an addict, that was incarcerated multiple times, never meeting my father, coming from a community filled with crime. These were my ACEs and my social determinants of health, and they could have affected me in a negative way. But, I say the grace of God and guiding me and leading me to the right people, the right places at the right time. It allowed my mind to be reconditioned so that I can see things differently, and then with all that knowledge that I gained, to be able to put together something that can meet the kids that I once was, exactly where I was, and to help them go further than I've been.
My goodness, to go further than what you see in front of you. I'm sure that's how you got to the Colts.
Oh, that's right.
My, how different life is for you now.
Dreams. Dreams.
Hey, last question for you. If you could talk to yourself 15 years ago when you started this thing, now going through the NFL, seeing these things, coming full circle, I know you got more work to do, but what would you tell yourself 15 years ago?
I tell myself to stick with it, to embrace every moment, you know, the good and the bad. They all become, you know, lessons that are part of our life and helping us develop understanding, right? Not just knowledge, if you feel me, like understanding is deeper than book knowledge, and understanding comes from embracing and leaning into these challenges and these obstacles within our lives, and the positives and negatives, but taking all of it and utilizing it to help push us forward and become who we're meant to be.
I love that. I love that. One of these days, we're going to see how you feel about the Colts this season, too. Look at that. It's a playbook. I love it. Thank you.